Here to honor the congressman's legacy is Atlanta native and CEO of Trump National Diversity Coalition, Bruce LeVell. Sir, thank you for being here this morning and to honor a man that so many, as you can see clearly there by that sound that we just played, have immense respect for. Tell me your memories of John Lewis.
Thanks, Jillian, and good morning, Fox and friends. Well, met John 30 years ago here in Atlanta. We were at an event, and you know, he was a real quiet kind of guy, really, what you would think. But the interesting thing about it is that my uncles and my family actually marched with him here in Atlanta and Alabama and Mississippi during the Civil Rights Movement. So I knew about him until I finally got to meet him. And all the doors they opened, my uncle and my family, and all the marches. And as a little boy, I would listen to all the stories on the ground and the troops on the ground, as you might say. And it was a very interesting experience, you know, to meet him and to get to know him throughout the years. So John was a good guy. He really was.
Tell me about the last time you saw him.
Well, the interesting thing, we were sharing a flight from Atlanta several months back, and he goes, "How's that Republican thing working?" I said, "We're winning, aren't we?" So when we were landing, we were about to deboard the plane. You know, I said, "Well, you know, you mind if this black Republican grabs your bag out of the overhead?" He said, "That's one thing we can agree on together." So that was a really funny moment, and big shout out to the Fox crew and the drone operators you guys have when you were covering the casket coming across the Edmund Pettus Bridge. Great, it was just very a great moment. Shout out to your great photographers and everything else that were there. That was really good. I watched the coverage on Fox. It was great. And I appreciate y'all bringing this up because, you know, John opened up a lot of doors. You know, I'm one of the first black jewelry store owners here, car dealers, friends of mine here in Atlanta. You know, the list goes on for those doors. And most of all, Jillian, most of all, for us being able to vote and to pick a candidate of our choice, whether you like it or not, you know. Yeah. So it was good. Yeah.
Let's go ahead and take a listen to John Lewis in his own words. This was the March on Washington in 1963.
By the forces of our demand, our determination, and our numbers, we shall splinter the segregated South into 1,000 pieces and put them together in the image of God and democracy.
You know, some of us always wonder what legacy we'll leave behind when we're no longer here. And, you know, someone like that, you don't even have to question it.
Yeah. Well, you know, one thing I just want to, it's great we're talking about this, is that, you know, we can agree or disagree, you know, but there's one thing that's so important. It's just politics, but we still have to get along and get along together. And I think that's so important as we move on, and not take it personal, you know. So I think that's one thing that, you know, I try to live by. You know, I know John did, you know, even though he didn't like certain things that we did on the other side of the aisle. But at the end of the day, you know, he was a very kind gentleman when we would speak. You know, when I did see him, my daughter see him, et cetera. And that's one thing I think all Americans could embrace is to like, look, we're not perfect, but we can talk to each other, love each other, and get along. So it's a great, and thanks for featuring this. I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you for joining us to share some of those memories and some of your thoughts and experiences. I appreciate it, Bruce LeVell. Thank you. Have a good day, okay?
Thanks for having me.
Of course, and we'll be right back.